Now, today, morning is already past. We're already into the afternoon. Hey, yeah, what? Turn around and get my other boots. Try them out. See. I'm intentionally trying out one good rainfall. Down. Riding here, right here, right here. You know, weather doesn't dictate whether or not you ride here. Shout out to Aaron Stage. Thank you guys so much. Relationship. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, saints, what I did was I should have got a longer pin. When this rain here, pants that fit you well, these fit well. Taller guy. I'm taller than I am short. So when I'm in my riding position, it puts my pant leg just a tad bit above my boot, the regular pair of boots. So, y'all bear with me one quick second while I go and grab taller boots. And we're gonna go.
Waterproof. All right. What a fiasco. All right, we're back. Can you guys still hear me? Let me see something here real quick. Bada boom, bada bang. Yeah, I think you guys can hear me. Let me just double check this real quick here.
Guys for bearing with me. And it actually ties into what I'm gonna talk to you guys about here in a second.
All right. Yeah, it actually ties into what I want to talk to you guys about. So, bada boom, bada bang. All right, and we're off. Please excuse the front-facing camera. As you can see, the weather is getting the best of it. Actually, I think it's froze. There we go. I think it's unfroze now. Yep. Okay. So let me see where I'm at. All right. Case in point. Now, what I want to talk to is about today. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about, especially tonight. We're doing a motorcycle ministry show tonight. You already know we do that every Thursday, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. So make sure you guys tune in, especially those of you who ride with motorcycle ministries or are familiar with motorcycle ministries. Make sure you tune in. We very well may need your input, and so tune in tonight. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about for a few minutes is the difference between preparation and being prepared. All right. There is a difference between preparation and being prepared. Uh, at least there's a fine line. And I want to talk about that for a quick second. Um, when you talk about preparation, preparation is the act of being prepared. Okay. You have all the necessary things in place. That's preparation. But to be prepared is your mental ability and your physical ability and the actuality of being prepared. Okay. Yes, I know you've gone through all of the motions. I know you've, went through the whole process and or procedures to be ready, to be prepared. But the question is, are you? When you talk about motorcycle safety, there are people who take the um, motorcycle safety course. They get their endorsement, or I should say, they pass the test. But passing the test doesn't mean that you're really ready. And sometimes the instructor will tell the student, "You passed," but I strongly recommend that you practice before you hit the open road. Yes, you have gone through all of the preparation, quote unquote. You've gone through the motions, but not everyone who goes through the motions are able to actually do what it is that they are so-called preparing for. Uh, yo, what's going on, Bolo? God bless you, sir. Hope all is well. Yours. We ain't talking about too much, but there is a difference in humble opinion of being prepared. Excuse me, of preparation and being prepared. Uh, a lot of times we go through. Why is that doing that? Is my question. Uh, is it not charging? Maybe that's why. Okay. I guess that's the best we're gonna get right now. So, how is everybody doing on today? Um, and then the other thing about preparation. One thing, practice is one thing, but the actual game is a whole other ball game. Uh, it's almost like it's just different in my opinion. You're practicing and you're preparing and you're going through the scenarios and everything. But when you actually get out there hands on, like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think practice and preparation is your plan. But what happens when you get punched in the face? What happens when you're really out there and it is what it is? Does that mean we cease to prepare? No, we continue to prepare because it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Um, I'm saying when it comes to practice and preparation, it's still necessary. It's still necessary. And the more you practice, the more you give yourself options to do what's right. I think Shaquila, shout out to Shaquila Bussy, aka. ride a 250 out there making it do what it do on a 250 on Route 50 headed to California. Um, but Shaquila often says it is not your skill that gets you home as much as it is knowing what to do. And if you are skilled in one particular area, that's cool. But if your skill build outside of that, if we're going to talk about scripture, scripture says, leaving the prince doctrine, let us go on into perfection. And some people never go on unto perfection. Therefore, they plan and may even um, prepare, but they're not prepared. I don't know if it makes sense to you, um, but so I guess what I'm saying, or I guess what I want to say from here is do everything within, let me just speak for me. I try my best to do everything within my power to be prepared, to make sure I've gone through the steps necessary to make me prepared so that there are no surprises. And but when the surprises show up, you that the surprise showed up, that you become paralyzed and don't do what you need to do. I don't know why this keeps freezing the other screen. Normally it would stay lit, especially when that is charging. But so yeah, so do you become paralyzed at the surprise that popped up because you were caught off guard or surprised by what happened? Now, I grew up with the understanding that you got to expect the worst and plan for the best, something along those lines. And it's not that you're being a negative person. It's not that you're a pessimist or anything like that. But if you don't look at it like that at some point, you're gonna get caught off guard and you're gonna be hurt. I know that happened to me, because I'm so and so went through such and such. Look at here, man. Listen here. Don't be surprised at what folk will and won't do. Now, hopefully they don't, but just in case they do, you know, and it ain't even, I'm not even so much talking about being ready for what they do, but being willing to accept the fact that they did what they did. Because sometimes, sometimes that's what kills us. I can't believe they did it. So we're not complaining about what they did. We're complaining at the fact that they did it. It's not so much the deed or what they did, but the fact that they did it. And if we can't get over the fact that they did the do, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I I I leave myself vulnerable enough to be right and wrong. That part. I know you don't understand that, but I leave myself vulnerable enough to be right and wrong. I would take you at face value for the most part. And dog right. And in the back of my now that thought, the prevailing thought, it is Bada boom, bada bang. Not really sure what happened there, guys, but it is. Ooh, it is what it is. Debris in the road, guys. Debris in the road. All right, let's switch gears a little bit, man. A lot of people say, Retro, are you crazy, man? What are you doing out there in that weather? A lot of people won't leave the house, and that's cool. I mean, to each his own. Uh, but like I say, the weather doesn't dictate whether or not we ride, but the gear we wear when we ride. And some days I just don't feel like riding is where, I'm up to the challenge. Today was a day that I was up to the challenge, trying out my new gear. And man, and when I tell you so far so good, yo, bruh, I'm telling you, Aero Stitch is where it's at, guys. If you are a long distance rider or just a rider that, gets out and rides any significant amount, uh, and this is a suit that you guys definitely want to check out. It's not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive. Um, and I am dry, 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 dry. Of course, I just started, but when we did the Mail in Four Corners coming back, oh man, you talk about a down real bad. I'm gonna probably hit a little bit because my other phone is starting to do some stuff indicative of, you know, water problems, and it probably won't be too much longer till my other phone starts following suit, doing the same thing. But these are some of the things that we deal with when we're on the road, and then on top of it, trying to capture content, you got engaged and to share. Right? It is what it is. Um, you know, when we go back talking about preparation and being prepared, uh, sometimes the biggest thing to consider is the need to shift. You know, because when you prepare for a situation, you should consider a couple different variants or a couple different scenarios, or you know, because you never know what's going to really happen. So in your preparation, in your planning, in practice, kind of mix it up a little bit. I was looking at my old Atari gaming console. I'm not a big gamer, but I got a Atari, and one of them is I've got to see if I can get it fixed. But nevertheless, on the back, sometimes we all want the easy road. Sometimes practicing, man. So, folks, y'all need the